you know what? I'm calling bull on this market. Not bullshit, but bull in a sense that there's always a bull market within any given asset class. The thing is, though, it's not always in the same stock or in the same sector of stocks or the same asset class even. And so I think that's one of the big frustrations for a lot of traders and investors, that they're always looking for the same stock to be bullish, or the same bond, or the same futures contract, or the same currency. But the reality is that you're only going to get a really good setup, bullish or bearish for that matter, in any given asset or stock every once in a while. So in order to find the constantly bullish rotation that we see within asset classes and intra-asset classes, you need a process and a tool. And so we're going to look at the market rover for a second. But just for the right now, actually, just so you know, we just had some headlines out of the U.S.-China trade deal that continues to be ongoing. So there's a lot of risk right now in the market, a lot of headline risk. But even so, and even though I think it's just not a good, right now, not a good week to do a whole lot of stuff, I just made a special video for our clients, there still are bullish underpinnings taking place. The trouble is, how do you find it? So I'm going to show you just a couple things here that just happened over the past couple weeks. So for example, this here is the New York Stock Exchange Composite on the daily chart. And so bit of a sort of an FYI, if you want to look for broad market measurement in the U.S. equity market, I like to look at New York Stock Exchange Composite, and you can see, even though we continuously bounce off the lows, and that's actually not a bear sign necessarily right now, we've largely trotted sideways for the past couple of weeks. But if you had a process which allowed you to find things that were either oversold or giving you bullish reversals like we have with the market rover, you would have found, for example, Merck, and in fact the entire healthcare complex, just had about a 10% rally over the same period of time that the broad market has gone sideways. You can see we got oversold signals here and a massive bounce. So the way we do this is we look for this sector and group rotation. So for example, healthcare, even just actually yesterday, went back to both short-term bullish and medium-term neutral. And within that, again, over the past couple of weeks, we've seen a lot of opportunities on the bullish side. So you can also look at, for example, a stock like ZTS. Let me quickly type that in. And this is within the healthcare space. You can see not looking very bearish. In fact, looking like it wants to kind of grind higher. On the market rover, we got a signal on that stock, a buy signal, just a couple days ago here. Let me show it to you right here, so you can see how that's giving us a bullish signal. So long story short, you know, there are times when the market's grinding sideways, but within the market, in this case we're looking at equity markets, there's always something that's bullish versus other things that are bearish for the most part, unless you have a massive sort of, you know, multi-day, multi-week sell-off where pretty much everything goes red. But even then you have relative outperformance. So if you're someone who prefers to trade from the long side, who prefers to look for opportunities where you can buy things, there's always an opportunity somewhere. You just have to find it. And it's, like I said, it's most likely not going to happen in the same stock or in the same group of stocks all the time. So you have to expand your horizon. Even if you just look at the S&P 500, that's 500 stocks. Maybe it's 400 stocks if you leave out a few hundred or so that you may not be that inclined to. But the point is, there's a ton of opportunity, but you have to find a way to find this constantly bullish rotation in parts of the market. So that's the process that we like to follow. That's what the market rover does. If you have any questions or comments or interested in the market rover, leave a comment down below or send us an email, support@thestrategytrader.com. Talk to you guys soon.